Today I want to talk to you about Yogi Berra. Some of you may not know that name. He was an all-star baseball player back in the 40s and the 50s. And he was so good that he had more RBIs for the New York Yankees than Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio during some years. He also has 10 World Series rings, and he was voted the most valuable player 3 times. And please go ahead and like and subscribe to YouTube and follow us on LinkedIn. I recently saw a special on Yogi Berra, and they made some interesting points about his comical mannerisms, the things he was said. He's kind of like Casey Stengel, if you remember that name. Some of you don't. That was a long time ago as well. But the point that I think he and his family were making over the years after he retired is he probably didn't get the kind of recognition that he was warranted given his accomplishments in the game of baseball and even his life that he lived, which was very well respected. And so I started to think about why, and they were talking about that in the special as well. And he was just seen as more of a character. He had things he called Yogi-isms, or people call them Yogi-isms. He actually had Yogi Berra, cartoon character, was kind of named after him. One example of a Yogi-ism, he said, nobody goes to that restaurant anymore because it's too crowded. So that's just an example of one of the many things he said. Anyway, I think if you're in a sport or in business, sometimes your persona might be well received, but it also in some ways might lose the panache or the respect that you actually deserve in terms of making decisions, in terms of hitting the most RBIs, whatever it may be. So I think we always have to be thoughtful about how we act in situations. And I'm not saying we're not to do Yogi-isms, for example, but I am saying to think about the persona you want to present, because sometimes people will laugh or they'll smile or they'll give you a nod when you're talking, but behind the scenes, they may have taken something away from what you actually deserve in terms of the level of respect. And Yogi Berra was a great person. He was a great player. And I would say in this special kind of pronounced that as well. So at the end of the day, Yogi Berra was a great person. He was one of the greatest baseball players, certainly of all time, one of the greatest catchers. But perhaps for him, he wasn't known at that level of leadership and skill and impact because of maybe how he was perceived. And that could be in sports, it could be in business, it could be in any part of life. So just food for thought.